Welcome, ladies and gents, to game number 2 of this best of 5, spawning in the bottom position, representing Millennium as the red Terran player, currently 1-0 down in this lower bracket series. It's Dayshi. His opponent, a very strong, predominantly online Zerg, it has to be said, but doing a very good job in so many tournaments, and right now looking to make his way to the 4th round of the lower bracket here in the WCS EU Regionals. It is SortOf. So we have a very quick drone scout coming up from SortOf. Don't worry, he's not about to steal that or anything like that. He just wants to get in before the front wall is closed off for the Terran player, so he can know for sure if the expansion is coming up and what is going on in the early game. We do have the hatchery down for SortOf here, and he is going to be following it up with a gas and then a pool. So there's the drone. He's actually going to be really annoying to the SCV as well, but unfortunately won't be able to kill him off before the barracks finishes, so he's not that worried. And a Reaper is going to be coming out as well. I suspect this drone might eventually end life as an extractor here, and that is exactly what SortOf is going to be doing. So preventing a double gas from Dayshi early on. He could potentially cancel that, I suppose. Depends on where the Reaper ends up. But I think the Reaper is going to be going cross-map anyway. He's going to allow the assimilator, extractor even, to complete. Indeed he is. Cool. So all well and good, basically saying, I don't want you to be teching too fast this game. I'm going to make sure you're limited to a single gas. How are you going to adapt your build appropriately? And Dayshi right now, he's just going to be getting a little bit of scouting information. The 2 queens are on their way. Now this time he needs to not be so greedy with the Reaper like he did in that last game. He was very, very greedy with the Reaper. And it did end up costing him, the Reaper, as well. Can be very useful for scouting later on in the game as well. He's trying to hang around long enough, I think, to kill off the drone that made that spore crawler. But now that there are queens, it's just not possible. Queen goes, whee! And Reaper goes, okay, I'm out of here. So that's a little bit better. I'd like to see him survive to maybe pop in and scout for any buildings in the natural expansion at a later date. So as long as Daishi's not too rash with this Reaper, all is well. We have a Marine here. Solo effort to kill off this extractor. Who would have thought one drone could do so much? Said the guy facing down the Ultralisk, I suppose. And we have a very similar build to last time. We have a tech lab on the barracks right next to the starport, so we could be going for Banshee play once again. Now, an Overlord from SortOf this time rather than a worker is getting into place now to possibly scout this straight away. So we'll see that ends up happening. Extractor goes down. Second gas already being taken at the natural, by the way. So he'll take this at a later date. But he's not under a lot of pressure to do that right now. And the third base has come down for SortOf behind this. So we have indeed got the Cloaked Banshees once again this time around. And a Marine doing a Michael Jackson impersonation on the edge of the map here. Wow. That looked really cool, actually. Check out those moves. Oh, there we go. He's doing it again. Oh, wow. This guy. This guy. Looking pretty slick. We're going to call that Marine MJ. He was kind of moonwalking towards the Overlord there. And as a result, SortOf hasn't been able to... Oh, no, he has. He just managed to scout and then he popped back out. So, fair enough. Stim has started for Dayshi as well. Where is the Banshee? We'll be hunting around for that very, very shortly indeed. At the moment, it's just a couple of Hellions moving in, and I'm not sure about moving in past the Queen on the ramp. Really? Well, that loses him one of them. We do have what will now be a second and third Banshee, I suppose, joining the fray, and there is the Banshee coming in. MJ Marine, of course, doing a really good job, but it looks like he's now been pulled off of that duty. Where is MJ? I'm guessing that's MJ, but I'm not sure. And the Banshee's actually going to be participating in the full frontal assault here. And actually, he has the ability to pick off both queens here because no queen has energy for transfuse right now. They are running to the other side of the spore crawlers for that exact reason. We have Spore Crawler, 2 Evos going up in the natural expansion. The Banshee can kind of stay here and pick off a drone or two on gas, I suppose. And it's got 3 kills so far. Number of workers killed so far this game, though, still only the 1. So at the moment, SortOf just seems to be holding Dayshi at bay a little bit. Behind this, while he's established map control, he's going for his 3rd base. He's planting his 3rd orbital down now, and I really like that. And SortOf is just continuously holding the fort. He's producing more drones. He's basically producing like a 1/3 of a round of drones, I want to say, each time Dayshi comes in with these kind of attacks. And it just means that SortOf's macro and his mechanics behind this are just consistently solid. So I really, I don't know, I really quite like that. In the meantime, 1-1 on the way for SortOf. Being very methodical about this. Now, the 4th base is ever so slightly easier to connect to by creep here, but look at all of this open space around it, as well as these ledges over here. It makes it very difficult to defend against stuff like siege tanks, for instance. So he does have to be careful about what timing he wants to go. But that said, it's relatively easy to hold. In the early stages of the game, as long as you know that these drops aren't coming in, you should be able to hold that. So it's a question if he wants to go greedy and grab those minerals fast and try and out-macro Dayshi. Because right now he's at 63 to 56 workers, and that's after all the harass. You know, we've got 8 workers killed this game. Dayshi is continuously trying to make a dent in the economy. It's just that every time this happens, SortOf knows to instantly hit the drone button and go, yeah, you can kill off a little bit, that's fine. We can play this game. And he'll be right. Queen finally going down. Only took long enough. We need to get those back to the medevacs. He's losing too many Marines for this, or is he? Yeah. 16 down to 10. Gets as much damage done as he can. I was a bit worried because he was moving them quite far away from the medevacs, and I was wondering how long it would actually take to load them all up. Ooh, are these Ravagers going to get some pot shots off? Probably not. No, okay. We're actually paying attention to them now. Comes in, picks off 1, lifts up again. We're down to 6 Marines in that medevac now, and he will fly straight over the 4th base, so this is actually quite useful indeed. And I'm not sure about taking this fight if you're the Marines right now at all. So 6 Marines suddenly becomes 3, and there are significantly fewer people to live to tell the tale. Live to tell the tale? Live to tell the tale here. Ooh, and siege tanks and Hellbats. I've missed you, Hellbats. You're a good unit. Moving out here to try and stop this advance of Zerg units here. But wow, the Ravager shots against the siege tank were absolutely inch perfect. And unfortunately, the rest of the fight is getting taken away from Dayshi right now. He's still got the 2 Hellbats here, but he's almost exclusively fighting Ravagers. So all those flames aren't going to be as useful as they would be against Zerglings. He's still picking off a fair few of them, but the Roach is tanking an awful lot of damage in front, and it looks like the 4th base for SortOf will successfully go up. But Dayshi's not giving up. We've got 3 more drop chips coming in to the main base right now. So let's see what he can do. If he can pick off the Infestation Pit and the Queen, that would be pretty slick. We have Zerglings coming in to try and defend against this. I wonder if he can sort of move the bio in between the minerals to stop that from coming out as well. Wow, he gets the Infestation Pits. He gets a couple of Infestors. There goes a Fungal Growth. But, oh, he needs to get the Medevacs actually out of range of the Spore Crawler. That could have hurt a lot. 1 Medevac almost going down, but that was a really nice drop there from Dayshi. So, SortOf, well, continuing actually to hold this 4th base right now. Dayshi being very, very persistent, but it looks like finally every Marine in this expedition is going to go the way of the dodo. And Ravagers plus Infestors are also going to clean up this bit of mess here in the main. Now, bear in mind the Infestation Pit is gone, and I don't think another one has been made. We have the Ultralisk Cavern as well coming down for our Zerg player. So, potential transition into late game incoming, but Dayshi wants to go 1 final attack on the 4th as well. He might even be able to ninja attack the 4th and get out. He must be thinking about it. There we go. Hit it and run. Are we going hit and run? We are going hit and run. He's just going to lift everything into the medevacs and get out of there. Waiting for the right moment. Ooh, needs to be careful with those Ravager shots. Does he think he can take this with the Infestors there? Wow, maybe he can. Maybe I miscalculated and I didn't see the energy on the Infestors, but no, it looks like he's just going to straight up trade, and I guess he could, but Dayshi's on the losing end of this fight, I think. With the Infestors there, I thought he was quite brave to continue to take the fight. But he did manage to kill off the Infestor. It does mean, though, that SortOf basically kills everything except the Medivacs. And the Medivacs, admittedly, are the most important because they cost gas and they take ages to rebuild and stuff. And Bio is so much easier to replenish than Medivacs. But he did get the 4th. He absolutely did get the 4th. The only question was when he should have moved out there. And I thought he was going to move out as soon as he took down the hatchery and he plonked everything in. But maybe he just wants to keep SortOf's supply down so that he has more time to do stuff like grab his upgrades. Maybe prepare for a 2-2 timing like you can see him doing now. And, oh dear. And try and get a 5th base when Zerglings aren't surrounding his command centers. But he will be able to move his army into position and he will comfortably be able to get that down now. So all is well and good. In fact, it's going to become a planetary fortress as well, just to make sure that it's that much harder to take down. 4th base, no gas is being taken just yet. Dayshi on about 1,000 at the moment, but he's not under a lot of pressure to decide exactly what he wants to invest that into. The Ultralisk Cavern is out, and we have the first couple of Ultras joining the fray. They're only at 1-2 upgrades at the moment, but chitinous plating is about to complete. And there we go. So that's going to make them that much harder to kill. So really important to have those attack upgrades as well to try and counteract as much of that armor as possible. Another drop going down inside the main base. He has to pick those guys up. There we go. Hot pick up there as Dayshi once again moves on to creep with a good number of medevacs full of bio units, trying to keep the creep from SortOf back out of his part of the map. Missing one active creep trimmer on the south side. And doing a good job of just poking and prodding. We have another drop over here. So will that be able to take out this? Well, probably not with Ultralisk kind of standing watch over it like that. But this has got to be a soft spot target right now. And we have additional command centers, no doubt, for more mules to hopefully eventually replace these SCVs. So Dayshi can have a larger army coming out too. So he's loading up, and this is the ledge we were talking about, making it very difficult to attack into this sort of position. There are no siege tanks here, though, and we're going to slowly drop units, one medevac at a time, to see if we can lure them in. And once the Ultralists get lured in, I mean, there's a lot of DPS up on this high ground, so that's the problem here. We just need a single medevac worth of units to kind of drop here, and ooh, nice Ravager shots. But I think SortOf might be overly ambitious in taking this base while Dayshi has that map control. If SortOf already had stuff up here, then fair enough, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I love the Talice touch, by the way, on the Liberators behind to try and stop units from coming in as well. So that base goes down. We have more drops inside the 3rd base here, although that will get comfortably picked up. The 4th base has an empty medevac hovering over it, which probably can't be good. But Daishi's main attack is looking pretty strong right now. 2-2 is finished. He's starting to get ghosts now as well. So he's channeling a couple of snipes there, managing to pick those off. And, oh man, I mean, where does SortOf go from here? He needs to find a way to either pick off this army or run counterattacks against these bases, because I feel like the way Dayshi has expanded, he's done a really good job of saying, look, I might not win this game outright with this army, but I'm going to win this game because behind it I'm taking 2 extra bases. And I think that is absolutely the correct approach for Terran to take right now. I'd like to see maybe one more drop, maybe 2 more drops moving up to the top right here. But we'll see if that ends up happening. It looks like we have a Nidus network moving down inside the base of Dayshi. A little bit in your face for my liking, because frankly there are enough units here that with Stim, that's not going to last very long at all. And there we go, Nidus dead. And this offending Overlord looks to be really drawing the attention of our Terran player right now. We have a second Nidus going down, once again inside the base. So SortOf really trying to harass Dayshi with this, as Dayshi moves on with his army to pick off these bases in the bottom left. We have the Nidus live, and it's just going to be Zerglings, but Zerglings, oh, hang on a second, Zerglings, Ultras, Roaches, a lot of Zerg units are now moving in here, and SortOf is redirecting the rest of his army to go ahead and fight this one over here. Bottom right base gets taken out. Where are the rest of the units? The Liberators just patiently stopping some sort of backstab. But in the meantime, SortOf, look at this. He has units all over the base of Dayshi. And while it's not the world's largest number of units, it's really frustrating. The Ghosts are dying needlessly to a bunch of Roaches. We might have another engagement out in the middle of the map. It's not clear where Dayshi needs to be looking right now. That's a very, very tough position for him to be in. So these units are slowly starting to get picked apart. We have another Nidus going down, this time I think just to attack this base over here for Dayshi. Has he actually spotted that? He must have done if he put the Nidus there. Yeah, he has. Okay. Oh, in fact, he's got the Overlord right there. Yes, of course he spotted it. So this Nidus is going to get taken out. And we have, oh my goodness, another one. So non-stop Nidus networks from SortOf saying, right, you've harassed me, now it's time for me to completely get in your face non-stop. And these Ultras are doing a very good job. I'm surprised he didn't actually like try and pick off maybe 5 or 10 of these SCVs as well, but I guess when you have that many ghosts with snipe, you do have to be a little bit careful. And this base is getting picked apart as well. Oh, he might be able to stop the +3 attack upgrade. That's huge. He does stop +3 attack there. And SortOf continuing to roll in. +3 armor still on the way and will complete for our Terran player. But so many units everywhere right now. These Corruptors might actually take down this orbital command. They will have to back off because the SCVs are repairing and there's an army waiting to hit him. But he was actually doing more damage to that than he was taking. Even up until the end there, just deciding it wasn't quite worth their lives. Do we have a greater Spire? No, we do not yet. So we're researching upgrades from the Spire. We don't have Broodlords on the cards for SortOf just yet. We're nearing the 17-minute mark in this game. Both players are about maxed out. And we have a big, big attack in the middle of the game. We have a nuke going down! And the nuke is probably going to kill off one drone because we're super excited like that. But we will keep an eye on that. It looks like the skirmish is finished out the front of the... That's actually much closer to the ghost than it is anything else. Yeah, okay. Managed to kill off 2 drones. Boom! Does creep get radioactive? It must do, right? How can you go back to mining there straight away? I wouldn't go back there for 30 years, mate. Alright. Ravager's Banelings actually doing a really good job of forcing the Terran to split. A couple of nice Infestor shots as well with that fungal growth. And the Corruptors are now taking aim on all of these medevacs. And once he kills all the medevacs, when the bio can't actually get healed up anymore, it's a really difficult position for Terran to keep any sort of sustain in their pushes. And that's kind of what SortOf is going for right now. He doesn't mind trading as long as he kills off all the healing, all the flying heal buses. Because if he manages to do that, then he just has to win one engagement as opposed to 2 or 3 or 4 because the healing has been so strong. So here we go. Bunch of bio, significantly low hit points, and as a result this will get cleaned up, but not before the hatchery goes down. So fair credit to Dayshi there. In the meantime, we heard you like Niduses. So we got you some Nidus. It looks like a whole bunch of Zerglings are being fed into this Nidus worm, and here we go, spewing them out like there's no tomorrow. Tasty, tasty. Does look like the bio is going to be able to defend against this, though, and this Liberator is actually going to make it his personal mission to absolutely prevent anything from showing up there ever again. So the game now stabilizing, basically with both players on half the map each. Now this base has not yet been taken by Dayshi. He's mining comfortably more, though, and that's mainly because of the Mule Hammer coming down over here. He's at 164 supply. I don't think he's caught on that he never actually researched +3 attack because that engineering bay inside the main base was taken out. So he could be researching +3 attack from here, but he isn't. And that's a little bit of an alarm bell to me, because if he doesn't notice this for the rest of the game, especially against high armor units like Ultralisks, and frankly, just for the DPS of a bio army in general, that +3 attack is gonna be quite useful for him. So that's a little bit disappointing. But credit where it's due, of course. And that's oh my god, that's a lot of Liberators. That's a lot of freedom they're bringing over to this base here, and this base is definitely the easiest target, but taking these 2 bases means that he doesn't have to worry about that too much. He just needs to think about how to engage the army. Possible great fungals. Oh, they're so close to maybe a great fungal going off there, but with the Liberators it was always going to be difficult. And here we go once again against this base. SortOf is going to struggle to keep a hold of this for much longer. With the Liberators here, it's just very difficult for him to hold. The Ghosts in backup allow them to kill off the Ultralisk if they come in as well. But this is the only base where Dayshi has the natural map advantage in terms of attacking it. For For the rest of the map, SortOf can just go, well, I'm going to keep expanding. What on earth are you going to do there? And that's a really good question for Dayshi to answer right now. There's not an awful lot he can do. He needs to engage the army straight up at some point, but he needs to make sure he's able to kill off all of the Ultralists. He needs to make sure he has an answer for the Infestors. He needs to get great positioning. And, well, I mean, transitioning to approximately Infinity Liberators is definitely one way of zoning it out. But again, he's zoning out his enemy in the middle of the map here, not doing very much. And SortOf's response is, okay, I'm going to go ahead and... Wow, did I just see double Ultra Nidus Worm? Yep, that can work. But it looks like he's going to engage the army straight on instead. And he's actually going through all the Liberators here. Is this going to be the kind of engagement that Dayshi needs? A lot of the Ultras go down straight away, but there are still a couple with this army. The Corruptors are coming in and picking off all of the Medivacs. And really, that's what's going to be hurting the Terran right now. And this Spire army can actually kill off all of these Ultras, potentially, because they were on such low health. But they focused mainly on the hatch. They will get that. And SortOf narrowly beats Dayshi there. Although I'm still a little bit surprised that we had this situation, because taking this engagement is... It was always going to be risky for SortOf, but he went, yeah, I can walk through all the Liberators. That was a very brave move, and I think it's paying dividends for him now. A lot of these Corruptors are on very low health because the Liberators, of course, do splash damage as well. But this doesn't mean he's winning the game, because SortOf, look at this. He's got no money left in the bank. He needs to retake this space. Yes, this space is mining, but he's spending money way more than he's making it right now, and he wasn't able to keep a hold of this space. Dayshi, in the meanwhile, has 2.5k. So even though even though Dayshi seemed to come out worse for wear in that previous engagement, it looked like, in my personal opinion anyway, it looked like he needs the sustain. And SortOf doesn't have the sustain right now in his army composition because he's basically starving himself out. He's not mining a lot compared to Dayshi, so even though Daishi's engagements haven't been the world's best, I think he's doing the best job he can. You can't really ask for more than getting your Zerg opponent to rush through all of your Liberators, and maybe forcing SortOf to spend all of that money is what's going to win Dayshi this game. So credit where it's due. We got there in the end. We worked it all out. And now we have once again... Oh, look at how efficient Dayshi is being with this army. Now, this isn't the #1 priority target. I think he's just trying to whittle down the army. He's saying, look, I will take down the hatchery if you don't do anything about this. But actually, what I want you to do is I want you to commit all your Zerglings to trying to kill off my Marines and Marauders here. And he's whittled down SortOf quite a bit. SortOf still in 160 supply right now. I want more nukes. Give me more nukes. That's not more nukes, but it's a Nidus. We'll take it. Yay, more Nidus! Unfortunately, what is SortOf going to be putting in them? Oh, not a lot by the looks of things, because, well, he has a lot of Zerglings. But there's a reasonable amount of bio. This is like, yeah, that was like ducks at a fairground. Zergling 1, Zergling 2, Zergling 3. Basically, this Marine should, no, he has 0 kills. He has 0 kills. Did the Ghost steal all the kills? Okay, you've got 1 kill, you've got 1 kill. 3 kills! This guy is winning the prize at the fairground right here. This Ghost. He stole everybody's fun. He's the Grinch Ghost right here. Another round of Zerglings. And Nidus, conveniently positioned exactly where this command center wants to pop down, is going to deny an awful lot here. And cracklings are very, very dangerous things indeed. Oh man, this bio didn't know what hit it. That's a lot of SCVs going down now, actually, and I'm not sure. This could actually drain the bank from Dayshi and bring these guys back to level pegging, because Dayshi is now onto 400 minerals in order to resupply here. These Zerglings did so much damage there. There's a Zergling with 4 damage. Don't do it, Liberator. No. No, 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 no. MVP Zergling, MVP Zergling. He's still there. He's not there. He's very not there. He's very not there. MVP Zergling was great, basically. And SortOf dragging himself back into contention, retaking those bases. Notice we haven't actually got the gold base here yet. He could always drop a drone down here, or maybe drop a Nidus. He's dropping Niduses everywhere else. Why doesn't he just drop one on the island and try and pick up some gold minerals to keep himself maxed out? That would be totally legit. Anyway, more Nidus. Happy days. Single Ghost. Not even Fairground Champion Ghost. There's the other Ghost, his buddy. There are 3 of them now, and absolutely none of them have that much in the way of kills. Here come the Zerglings, though. They're moving out. The ghosts are going to cloak, and once again we have the fairground ducks in a row kind of situation here, unfortunately. Just those couple of lings aren't going to be enough. We have a huge engagement out here in the middle of the map, though. The banelings are rolling in. The ultras are generally going down, though, and after that first wave of banelings rolled in, SortOf didn't really have anything else. He's also off creep, so the banelings are going to be a little bit slower. And, ooh, I'm not so sure. That ended up working well for him. Very, very dangerous indeed. This could be very tricky indeed for him now, because Dayshi has forced him to use the rest of his bank. It's 166, 147, so this has been very back and forth, actually. Like, when SortOf had no bank and Dayshi had loads, I was like, cool, Dayshi can resupply and take another good engagement, and then SortOf took, like, 2 good engagements in a row, and now I'm like, well, I don't really 100% know which way this is going to go next. It kind of depends on which player has more unanswered harassment. If you can pick off 10 supply here and there and your opponent... Reaper, really? This guy, from the start of the game, you didn't think you'd see him again, did you? Well, he is the vanguard of this force right now. And once again, Dayshi only picking his fights in places where he knows he has the advantage. So, for the nth time this game, he's stepping on radioactive ground from the nuke, obviously. Reaper! Did Reaper survive? Where'd Reaper go? Is Reaper there? Reaper's dead! Okay, Reaper was basically the only casualty there. Man, you had like 2 days left till retirement. What is this? Turns out Planetary Fortress is good against Zerglings, but 3 times as many Zerglings to kill a Planetary Fortress is also better than a Planetary Fortress. Ding! And now we have Liberators pushing forward. Dayshi trying to turn the screw on SortOf and bring this series to 1-1. It's almost a half-an-hour game. Oh god, that is sick! Those fungal growths are so sick, but where's the follow-up? The Ultras died just as the fungal growths got onto the bio. That was a sick, sick fungal, but where was the follow-up? And there wasn't one. Dayshi successfully, in a 28-minute game, claws back this best-of-5 series to 1-1.